Hi guys, this is Mihai again, and I thought it was about time to come with a new video to show you another great thing you can do with DNN Sharp products. Of course, as you already know, all the nice tutorials can be found on our blog.dnnsharp.com/1001. Here you have an action grid module which has a data source to display all tutorials we've posted so far. Now, last week I showed you how to automatically import data in your database. I was assuming that you have the file on your DNN instance or that you have a way to get the file there. I mentioned FTP back then, but then I started thinking, what if you don't have access to a service that provides FTP deployment? What if you need a simpler way? And then it came to me. You can just send the file through an email. Yep, that's right. To help you with that, we have the Email Sync Sharp Scheduler add-on. This add-on uses the Sharp Scheduler power to connect to your email account, check for all new emails, and process them based on conditions that you set. Now, I will show you how to send the file through email, download it from the email, and then run actions on it. Let's go to my setup. So I have Sharp Scheduler here. You see the job from last week, auto import in database. We won't talk about this one now, but I created a new job, check email. Let's edit and see how it was done. You give the name of the job, the context portal, and you set a trigger. In this case, the trigger I used is mail emap. For this trigger, you will need to set up some credentials to allow Sharp Scheduler to connect to your email. Click here to manage credentials. Now you will need to create a group, add new group. This is the group. Let's say group 2, and then add a new entry with credentials. Use my credentials for Gmail account, let's say. You will need to provide the host name of your emap server, if it's a secure connection or not, username and password. That's all. Click save. I will disregard this one. I have one set up here, DNN Sharp email as I called it. I gave the name Mihai at DNN Sharp because that's the account. You can type anything you want here. This is the emap host name and my credentials, my username and my password. Save. Now, after you have the credentials, you will start a date when you want to start looking for emails. Be careful not to go backwards too much because you will have a lot of emails to read. I would recommend starting from yesterday, let's say. I did that earlier and I had around 300 emails in just a day, but that's just me. Okay, in my case, I needed to download the attachment from the email, so I clicked here, Save Attachments. I want to save them to the temp folder, and in case it's a duplicate, to rename them with a date. I want to filter my messages. I want to be alerted and to do something only when my email has a subject that contains the word import. Yeah. This is the trigger. That's all you need to do for the trigger. As you see here, you have a bunch of tokens that are created by this action when it reads the emails. We'll get back to there. Now, what I want to do here, I've used the debug email action here to send me an email and tell me what's the content of the entire email that I received, but you don't need this one. You'll start from here. This action saves all the attachments from the email inside a token. Mail, uploaded attachments info JSON. It's a JSON with all the info from the attachments, with file ID, file name, renamed file name in case it was renamed. So I copied this info and I had to work on it somehow. I used the load entities from JSON action, gave the token as a JSON model, and gave a name for the entity. It's called attachments in my case. Now that I have my entity list with all the attachments from the email, I want to execute actions on them. So basically, for every attachment from that email, I want to do something with it. In my case, I'm gonna send an email now, but you can do anything. You can add here the actions that we used in the previous video to import them into database. You can add all sorts of actions. Let's focus on the send email one. In my case, I want to send myself an email with the subject that you had the name of the file as attachment. Attachment is the entity, and each entity, as we've seen, contains details about each element: file ID, file name, and the renamed file name. I used the file name because I wanted to only know the file name of the attachment. So you had the name of the file as attachment. This is the only action I run. Let's save the job. Now let's go to my email and send myself an email. So I'm gonna send an email to Mihai. In subject, remember, I have to use import in order for the job to run the send email action. And let's attach some file. That's one, and this is the second attachment I'm gonna use. I'm gonna click send. See, I have the file. It's a file with two files in it. This is the test email that's telling me the content of the JSON. And now I received for each attachment an email. You had this file as attachment and you had this file as attachment. It's as easy as that. Of course, send email is the simplest action you can run, but you can do anything with that file. You can save the file ID, for example, and use the file ID as source for the load entities from CSV file to load the entities and then import them into database. It's up to you what to do with this. I was also thinking because we named the email email sync, excuse me, because we named the email sync add-on the skillful personal assistant you were looking for. You can filter your emails in case you detect an email coming from someone you care about. You can send a text message to your phone using the Click-a-Tell add-on. You can trigger a push notification. You can do anything you want with this add-on. It just connects to your email account, searches through your emails, text-based, and filters them by subject, by sender, by email content, and you can use regex there, parse everything, and then you can do all sort of actions from sending an email to generating PDFs or even importing content from the email directly into your database. Let me know if you liked this video, and if you have any suggestions for future videos, send us an email at sales@dnnsharp.com. See you soon. Bye.